Welcome back, everyone. As you know from the last episode, we were building in anticipation of all the fields coming into Global U, and then we're about to talk about what was the launch month experience actually like, from the words of both Luca and Cassie. So, guys, what was it like? What were the differences based on expectation?
Yeah, I think I wasn't expecting launch month to be what launch month turned out to be at all. It was definitely nothing that I expected. I actually wasn't expecting a whole lot of spiritual growth coming into the school, which that seems to be a theme for me. But I was expecting more of a business focus, like right off the bat. And like, even though Josh, you literally told me like, this is a faith-based program, you know, we're really kingdom minded, and it sounded kingdom minded. I still just expected to be a little let down in that area. My mistake. Because the entire first month was all about really solidifying like your faith and your walk with the Lord, growing in it, solidifying your identity, and just making sure that a really solid foundation was laid for the rest of our time here, and really paying attention to the details of spirituality. And I would say I was a little frustrated about halfway through it, because I was like, I don't really feel like I'm gaining anything from this, which was pretty arrogant and prideful. Yeah. I was like, this is great for the other students, but I don't really think I need this. And then the Lord just started to really challenge me on that, because I got a little bit wrecked in the last 2 weeks, and a lot of identity stuff has been coming up, and a lot of spiritual growth is happening. It's still happening. I say this as I'm in the exact middle of the process. So, but yeah, I really appreciate everything that GU did for launch month, like the heart behind it. So,
sure. I mean, Luke, you're about to ask the exact same question, but okay, what was that moment for you? Like, if halfway through you're like, man, I really don't need this, and then something happened, what was that?
So, it was actually because of our workouts.
Are we going to do different workouts?
Potentially. I get up at 6 a.m. and do a prior workout, and then I join everyone else. I'm just kidding. No, it was during the 5K, and I ended up just getting really frustrated with myself and my body, and that it couldn't do the things that I wanted it to, or that I knew it could do if certain things weren't wrong with it. And then it just brought up like a lot of lies that I believed about myself that I didn't even realize I was buying into, and a lot of old wounds and a lot of narratives that I was allowing to run through my mind, that actually weren't true. And so now I'm in the process of, like, there are still wounds and lies like that being uncovered, like really major ones that are kind of like basic truths that a lot of Christians know that I actually don't believe about myself. And so now I'm in the process of learning how to walk in those truths and actually receive God's healing for those. So
I had a vastly different experience from you. Yeah, I came into this with this, like, when I signed up, I literally didn't even want, I knew it was a faith-based program. I literally didn't even want anything to do with the faith part. And my sister was like, convinced me, and I was like, fine, I'll sign up, like, just to make you satisfied. And then I was like, I'm gonna put things in here, like, because I'm, as you learn more about me, you'll learn that I'm not anything near like what a lot of people perceive Christian archetypes or stereotypes to be. I don't fit, if any of those, if at all. I don't own a Patagonia.
Savage. That is very savage.
But true.
Am I wrong?
True.
But my journey through and into Global U leading up here, I made I had an interesting relationship. Like I told my story, and I really didn't want anything to do with the faith-based aspect. And just over time, it's been kind of just unlearning a lot of truths, unlearning a lot of like stereotypes, getting rid of the addressing all those stereotypes and all of the perceptions and also beliefs and all of that stuff. It's unpacking a lot for me, and I didn't even want this, and here I am. But yeah, I'm just very unconventional, and I didn't think that I would be accepted. If anything, I didn't think I was going to be here to spiritually grow. I thought I was just going to piss people off a lot, if I'm being honest. I thought I was going to butt heads a lot with people because I believe very different things than some of my peers. And yeah, instead we've actually started the opposite, quite frankly, of building a community, not butting heads.
But Cassie, is that true? Did Luca butt heads with anybody, or like, I mean, and if he didn't, like, why not? Like, why did the community kind of come around each other if they did?
Yeah, it makes me laugh that he says that because I don't think he actually butt heads with anybody. I think he did challenge a lot of people's perspectives, which is really good and healthy. Like, people need that. I'm all about perspective. But one big reason I really think that he didn't butt heads with people in the way that he thought he would is because we actually are just a bunch of like weirdos, kind of a lot of like misfits, and yeah, Luca's really unconventional, but we like that, like I think a lot of us craved that, or we experienced similar feelings. And so I think that was part of why we were able to build a good, strong community really quickly,
We literally have an island of misfit toys. There's literally like a wall around the campus. Like we should just put a sign up like Island of Misfit Toys. It would be great.
Well, okay, so Luca, we were talking about this before the stream, right? And you were like, okay, we talked about community. You had made a comment of like, okay, I thought we were just gonna like kind of read the values one time. We were talking about community, that was gonna be it. But you were pleasantly surprised, it does seem like. And talk to me about that. Like, yeah, so you didn't expect it, but it kind of seemed like it did happen. So just talk us through that process.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked multiple manufacturing jobs and like minimum wage like assembly jobs, and so I'm used to seeing like these like, oh, here are our values. Anyways, get back to work. Like health is an important value. Anyways, stay in the dark for 8 hours a day. And so I'm used to hearing values that are just there for the sake of being there to put on a good image for investors. And I'm not used to values actually being fulfilled. And so I was wildly and pleasantly surprised when I got here, and also very much challenged because they're like, you know what? We're actually here to build a community. We're actually here to like spiritually grow. We're actually here to like get your butt kicked into shape. We're actually here to like get you to code. And I'm just like, all right, they weren't joking. The pamphlet wasn't joking. Sweet. And so I think it's just been this pattern of like really good expectations being broken, like good failed expectations, I guess.
For sure. Cassie, similar or different take?
No, it's similar. Like it was kind of how I thought about launch month, like I just wasn't expecting y'all to actually be serious and follow through, and the language that y'all were using, like the same language that actually attracted me to Global U and made me really fall in love with it. I think because I was also afraid that I was going to be disappointed and it wasn't going to be everything I thought it was. Instead, it was so much better than everything I thought it would be. And that's also a big theme. I think that's something that God loves to do, is like, no, this isn't what you thought it would be. It's better. Like, trust him. It's always going to be better. So,
and never make a bet against him. Otherwise you end up here.
Yeah. Luca lost an ultimatum and I'm very happy about it.
Well, thank you.
Hey, one thing before we kind of close out, and I'm just really curious because, like, for us, like a staff and people who are doing this full time, right? So everybody here has kind of been on the mission field probably for 4 years, kind of full time at this point. Like we try to instill community, but it's really up to you guys to like take hold of it. Like we talk about that quite a bit. But so we can use words that we've kind of given, or even like your own, like what is y'all's community? Like what do you think like the pillars of y'all's community is? And it does seem, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but it does seem like y'all really love each other and like you're excited about the group that you've got. You're pretty hard chargers. Like what do you think like y'all's community has rallied around, and like kind of what do y'all identify as? What type of values have you taken on for yourselves?
I mean, at least for me, I think that one thing that our community has done really well is taking on this idea of embracing vulnerability and embracing feedback. Like we can come to each other and be like, hey, that was hurtful to me, or hey, maybe that might not be the best way to approach it, or hey, maybe like, let's talk about it. And I like that idea of, talking about things that are either stigmatized or just like taboo. Like, guys aren't supposed to talk about their feelings in the society I've grown up in, at least. And like having a community of just people who are like, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl. You're gonna talk about who you are. You're gonna have to learn to rely on other people and like realize that you can't do all this by yourself. And I think we've hit that point early and hard because of a lot of different circumstances, like COVID and stuff like that. Like we all realized that we couldn't. I'm sure that no person is here, none of the students are here based on the idea that they can do it all by themselves.
Yeah, I think to add on to that too, one thing I love about this community, like we call each other out, but it's not in a shameful way. Like a lot of people say that they will call people out or hold people accountable, or that they want accountability, but that's really lived out here. Like people want to grow. They want the feedback, as terrifying as that may be. Like we call each other out and we call each other higher into our callings, into our identities, into truths. Like we don't let each other sit in the lies, and we don't let each other fall to the wayside. Solidarity is a huge theme, and it continues to be. And I think it's something that we are still growing in, but it's something that we all value. Solidarity, not only in the like spiritual and emotional vulnerability things, but also in the little things like dishes and taking the trash out and showing up like for each other to classes or workouts, because the little things are important too. And I think it's really cool that people here see that and care about that.
I would like to say for the record that every morning Cassie gets up and she makes a pot of coffee for everyone. So
wow, that's big. That is big. That'll change the mood. So that's why everybody's happy. But I don't know. Y'all come to coding class and everybody's a little bit tired. So Cassie, I think you're skipping Mondays.
Oh, probably. I'll have to make double pot that day just for you, Josh.
Or an espresso. We're gonna have to get an espresso machine just to really hammer it, right?
Maybe a milk steamer.
There you go.
Keep going. Let's keep going with this. Don't stop
right,
there.
Well, this has been awesome. Everybody watching, stay tuned to next week. We're going to talk about team building, what it's been like to actually work in teams as they move into the stage they're actually currently in. So until next week or 2 weeks from now, we'll see you here soon. And shout out to Caleb again for this really cool banner that he made. Oh, one second. This is a problem with live because it takes a second to get everything up. 3, 2, 1, go.